Here is some targeted supplementation to help you as we're cleaning up what we're putting into our body. As we've talked about in previous videos, we do need to start by establishing quality. And so we talked previously about some steps of how to do that. But then once we've established quality, there's some gaps that we're going to have to fill in. Now these gaps, they are there for many different reasons. So it could be, years of insufficiencies that you might have had from different vitamins and minerals. But also there's a lot of evidence to seem to show that the foods that we eat nowadays aren't as concentrated or as dense in some things as what they used to be back in the day. Omega-3s, for example, is a big one. Foods 50, 70 years ago used to have, even fruits and vegetables had a lot higher concentrations of omega-3s in them than what they do today. So I believe that there's a few things that we can supplement to fill in the gaps. And the supplements that I'm talking about is good for everybody. So you don't necessarily have to go do a blood test. Blood tests are great, and I can give you some more information as to where you are, how insufficient you are. But the supplements that I'm talking about today is pretty much, is it good for everybody? Is it good forever? Those are the supplements that we're talking about today. Number one is omega-3. Now, you would need to eat up to 80 grams of wild-caught salmon a day to get your required omega-3 intake. And nobody does that or can afford to really do that. So I recommend supplementing with a high-quality omega-3 fatty acid. Now, dosages depends on kind of what your requirements are, but a therapeutic dose, particularly as it relates to chronic inflammation or systemic inflammation that's in the body, is 2,000 milligrams of EPA a day. So how do we find that? So a tablet is typically 1,000 milligrams, but only a certain percentage of it will be EPA. So one of these tablets have 500 milligrams of EPA, so you need 4 tablets a day to meet your required dosage. Now, this gives us a bit of an idea on whether our fish oil is a good quality fish oil. If you need 4 to 5 tablets to meet that 2,000 milligrams, it's probably a pretty good fish oil. But if you need 6, 7, 8, 9, I've seen up to 12 to 14 tablets to meet that requirement, it's probably not a very good fish oil. Supplements aren't regulated, so we go to companies that do quality control and purity testing themselves or independently. 2 brands that we recommend, Metagenics is one of them. This is a retail brand now, you can get it online. You get about 500 milligrams of EPA in a tablet, so 4 tablets a day. Liquid will always be the most cost effective. The liquid for Metagenics works out to be about $1.40 a day per person. So that's the one we use in our household, because all the kids with breakfast just get a teaspoonful and then we're good to go. Second one, vitamin D3 or vitamin D. Now, even in sunny exposed areas like Hawke's Bay, a lot of us don't have optimal levels of vitamin D. There's some estimates that towards the end of winter, up to 60% of people don't have sufficient levels of vitamin D for optimal function. Now, this is for a few different reasons. In Hawke's Bay, when the sun's actually exposed in the sun in the summertime, when we're meant to be building up our stores, the sun's too intense to really be out in the sun with big exposed areas like our back, for example. As we get older, our body gets less efficient at vitamin D. If we've got higher fat percentages, the availability of vitamin D is a little bit lower. And just generally, vitamin D, I think, is inert enough where even without a blood test, you can take 5,000 IUs a day, which is what I recommend. So for this, I think it's 1.25 milliliters, gives you your 5,000 IUs a day. And the key with vitamin D is we need to be taking it consistently as well. So even if you skip 1 day a week, it changes how much you're absorbing quite significantly. And vitamin D runs 1,000 different processes in your body, maybe even more that we don't even know about. So vitamin D is a pretty big deal. The third one that I think everybody can benefit from would be a good probiotic. Now the probiotic that I recommend is Inner Health Plus. You can get this from most pharmacies. The Chemist Warehouse just up the road is typically where I see people. Now doing this routinely could be a really good idea. Doing it twice a year, probably essential. Doing it after any type of antibiotics, really, really important. So 60 to 90 days consistently if you've had some antibiotics within the last year or two is what I'd recommend. Now those three are really the core supplements that we recommend to fill in the gaps. Another one that I think can benefit a lot of people, or maybe even most people, would be magnesium. But green leafy vegetables are very rich in magnesium, so just eating more green leafy vegetables, that's a really good step as well. Until next time, have a great day.